I wake up every day and something reminds me that I've been swapping universes again when I go to sleep. Yesterday, I woke up, Chris Mr. Beast was a girl. Today's universe wasn't as dramatic. I woke up in a universe where custom controllers like this have become slightly more affordable. What you're looking at isn't $300 to $400, and its warranty isn't 30 seconds long like every single custom controller on the planet. This pre-configured DualSense from HYPR, called the Signature Flex, undercuts the DualSense Edge by $10 with 2 more paddles and much faster triggers. It does not have swappable sticks, but it does have a 1-year warranty, and unlike every other custom controller, this one does cover stick drift, which in and of itself shouldn't be a large issue for HYPR, because as of August 21st, they are the very second company to offer Hall effect thumbsticks for their DualSense controllers. Buds controllers, deadass beat them by about 4 days, although HYPR does have Hall effect sticks for their Xbox Series X and PS4 controllers as well. This does not have the anti-stick drift thumbsticks, but I do have a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X controller from HYPR on the way now. So reviewing and testing those thumbsticks is going to be a completely separate video. The sticks are rated for 10 million cycles apparently, and they're only $13. So if you're now interested for any of these reasons in buying a HYPR controller, you can use my link in the description or code vCuda at checkout for 5% off after watching my bitchin' review, of course. I do get paid when you use my affiliate, and HYPR did send this out, but I am a dickhead. And even though I am American, I'm not fat and capitalism doesn't work on me the same way, so this is going to be an entirely honest review. So hit what was once a big red button, and let's go. HYPR's controllers exist in a class all on their own. A PS5 DualSense with equivalent features spec'd from any other company will cost you significantly more, and I'll be proving that here in a minute. The Signature starting price is $120, and for that you get a normal DualSense. But you can add 2 or 4 rear buttons for $20, or if you're a boat guy and like paddles, there's an option for 4 of those for $25. The Clicky bumper and trigger combo only costs $30 altogether. The rear sport grip is $18, the Hall sticks are $13 each, and all of the thumbstick tension options are $15. There is a free option on the website for interchangeable thumbsticks, but I never recommend doing this from custom controller companies since they're always made out of wet sand. Also keep in mind, the remove rumbles option is automatically checked on the website, so if you want that feedback horseshit, be sure to uncheck that. It's a weight reduction of about 100 grams compared to the DualSense Edge. Now, while there is a way to get a controller cheaper than this, all of those numbers come out to $244. However, their pre-configured options offer quite a few features for a lot less. My Signature Flex has a black hole color scheme and some of the most important performance features for only $190. You can even get one with buttons instead of paddles and Hall effect sticks for just $220, which is ridiculous because no other custom controller featuring Hall effect sticks from any of these companies will ever be that cheap. I'll probably shit later for saying that. But even without the Hall effect sticks, I'm kind of proving my point because AIM, with all of the same performance features, the aesthetics and everything, it costs about $240. It's about the same price from the British Broadcasting Company. I might have done the wrong BBC. From Cinch, it would be $280, and if you take away the aesthetics, it's still $230. Hex has some competitive prices, but they don't offer Hall sticks. The only other person I know that does is Bud, and his prices are shockingly similar to the ones that HYPR is offering. I recorded this video in early October, and since then his website has changed, and so have his prices, so this is no longer true. But with HYPR, you're getting a good deal, a counter to stick drift, and a 1-year warranty that also covers those anti-stick drift Hall effect sticks, just in case they go wrong. That's not offered by anyone else, at least not for free. HYPR's aesthetics aren't too bad either. If you're really curious, I do encourage you to check out their website in the link below. Their options pair very nicely together, which is what I'm most concerned about when it comes to the aesthetics. I think anyone would be, but it's not as diverse as their competitors. Someone like Battle Beaver Customs has been around a lot longer and has a much more fleshed out inventory. Their controllers are prettier, but have like no warranty and cost way more, so it's perfectly balanced.
This whole thing should be.
This is all well and good, but what does spending that money actually end up getting you? I would label it as a sharpened tool capable of destroying fucking incels and Discord mods and whoever else plays video games nowadays. DualSense controllers have a stock polling rate of 250 Hertz, so about a 4 millisecond response time, but this can very easily be overclocked to 1000 Hertz to give you a 1 millisecond response time. So before any of the upgrades HYPR offers, you're getting an unbeatable response time, as well as the classic PlayStation accuracy, which I and many others have said feels The PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 controllers felt much better in terms of accuracy than Xbox controllers. I'm not 100% sure why that is. I would like to do some research on that topic and then come back to it when I can quantify it in a way that the average tech geek would be able to understand. I'll probably make an entirely separate piece of content on that, but for now, we're just gonna keep talking about things I actually do understand. Like the elusive 4-paddle Pro controller I'm always asked about, which can be found in the Amazon rainforest for, there isn't a single fucking worthwhile 4-paddle Pro controller on that entire fucking website. Pro controller connoisseurs know that anything coming out for PlayStation, Switch, or Xbox right now, all of them have 2 paddles or buttons for whatever reason. Even Sony did this shit with the DualSense Edge. And what sucks is not only are there very few 4-paddle PlayStation Pro controllers, very few PlayStation Pro controllers are made, period. But HYPR gives you the 4 paddles that Sony wouldn't with the DualSense Edge, or buttons, and you can choose the placement of the buttons. There's a couple of different options on the website, actually. The switches used for the Flex paddles are apparently built in-house. They're very, very tactile and rated for a claimed 1 million clicks. The paddles are not designed to be removed individually because there's a certain company who does this with their paddles, and they often break. So you are going to be using all 4 of the paddles at all times, but they're very fluid. In fact, compared to AIM and their paddles, I actually like HYPR's a lot more. They're a lot more ergonomic. The DualSense is one of the most uncomfortable fucking controllers with paddles or buttons. It's like putting high heels on an Arab man with like a thing on. I don't know what they're called. I was gonna say a turban. I don't know if that's an Arab thing though. God, I'm just gonna. Rear paddles are extremely useful for mostly complex shooters in my opinion. An example I've used for years is fucking Garbage Patch over there, where you always have to take your thumbs away from the thumbsticks to press the ADXY or D-pad inputs with rear paddles or buttons. You don't need to do that. You can just map them underneath the controller. It's not ideal taking your thumbs away from the thumbsticks for shooters, and neither are the normal triggers you find on DualSense controllers. They have an actual trigger pull. It's like 2,000 to 3,000 nautical miles. Clicky, at least in my opinion, is the best way to go, and they've done that with both the triggers and the bumpers. The triggers have a actuation force, at least according to my force gauge, of about 145 grams. Now, there is a learning curve to using something like this, but personally, I'm a big fan. They are much, much faster, and the learning curve is more than worth it. In the case of the bumpers and triggers, they apparently use OMRON switches that are claimed to be similar to the ones used in the Scuff Reflex, the PS5 controller. I wouldn't know. I don't spend $300 on collections of cancer cells, especially when this existed at a similar time with similar features for far less.